What other specialized cells do we have? The goblet cells. Usually in between they look something like this. Ne? The goblet cells. Ne? These are your goblet cells. Now, what is the function of the goblet cells? What is the function of the goblet cell? Yes, it secretes mucus. Ne? It secretes mucus. Maria. That's the goblet cell. Yeah, you find it in the nasal passages as well. Ne? Good. So that is your goblet cell. Ne? Let's do this. So this whole entire surface is made up of mainly goblet cells and columnar epithelial cells. So you have these ridges on both sides. Ne? These ridges on both sides. This one on my left hand side is called, spelling is a problem when it comes to this one, the crypt of Lebekai. Yes, got it. The crypt of Lebekai. Ne? And then this other one on the other side is actually a gland called Brunner's gland. These both of them, the crypt of Lebekai and Brunner's gland, they secrete mucus for lubrication of food, so that food passes by easily. It will be very uncomfortable if these areas were dry. Hey, Kulan, ne? It will be very uncomfortable if these areas were dry. So they secrete mucus for lubrication of food. And then the crypt of Lebekai is basically just a region between two villi. Ne? It's, the other villi you'll see it will just be like this again. Ne? So that's your crypt of Lebekai. And then on the inside of your, we have this other structure which will in turn form part of your lymphatic system. Who has ever heard of your lymph nodes? Lymph nodes. Lymph nodes. When you go to the doctor, they grab you here. They'll usually test. What are they feeling for? Your lymph nodes. These other bulkies here. Ne? Yeah, if they swell, that means you have an infection in that area. Usually under here as well, on your groin area, if you have an STI, the ones on your groin area will swell as well, meaning you have an infection. So this part over here, the central part of it, called the lacteal, will form what we call, will actually form what you call the lymph vessel, or form what we call the lymph vessel. Yes. Oh, the villi. This is the villi, inside the villi. And so if you cut longitudinally like that, if you cut the villi longitudinally, that's how the villi would somewhat type of kind of look. Yeah? Good. Then you have a network around a network of capillaries. I'm going to use two colors here. I'll explain why I use two colors. Yoko. This one, the capillaries will join and form a bigger blood vessel called a venule, and this one will form these capillaries form a bigger blood vessel called an arteriole. Now, what I want to explain to you is the following. Because all of these cells around and everything around here needs energy to function. That means they'll require what gas? Oxygen. And what transports oxygen? Blood. Blood coming. Remember last year when you did circulation, an artery carries oxygenated blood. Before it gets to its target organ, it will branch into what? It will branch into smaller arteries called arterioles. Before it gets into the vein. And those arterioles will branch into the smallest and thinnest blood vessels that you find in your body, which are called capillaries. So these basically, the blue and the red, are your capillaries. It's a network of capillaries. Now, as this blood enters here, it's carrying oxygen. This oxygen will diffuse into the cells, and this blood becomes deoxygenated, oxygen poor. Meaning it doesn't carry that much oxygen anymore because it gave it away to neighboring cells for cellular respiration, right? Good. After this, the blue part is basically your deoxygenated blood going back out via a small vein called a venule. Those venules will converge into one main vein. Do you get what these capillaries now do? Okay? Basically, it's to transport blood. Okay? Blood transports what? Gases and food. Okay? Good. And also during absorption, some of this food, when it's absorbed around here, it's going to go into this blood stream. So basically, for absorption, assimilation, and transport of gases. That's what the network of capillaries are here to do. Yeah? And obviously, in the middle over here, you'll have some tissue called the connective tissue. Yeah? You'll have connective tissue. So if you're ever required to draw or label this structure, this is basically what I'll require you to label or draw. Yeah? The main ones being the capillary of networks, the lacteal in the middle, the columnar epithelial cells that have in between them the goblet cells which secrete mucus. And then you can include the crypt of Lieberkühn and the Brunner's gland, the arterioles, and so forth. That is your Julie. Questions? What's rude? Right, Papa. Hallelujah. Now, as we move along your digestive system, there are organs that are responsive, that basically help. We say that they help with the digestion processes by secreting certain substances. So these are called your accessory organs. Basically, I like calling them the helper organs. Food does not pass directly through them, right? But they help in the digestion process by secreting some things. The main ones are: one, your liver; two, besides the liver, we have what we call the gallbladder. Gallbladder. Then three, we have the pancreas. Is it the first time you hear of this? Nah, you've been hearing about them. Good. Now, I want to do a little small diagram here, just to explain something. Let's say this is your liver for now. Now we'll go back. We'll go to the actual diagram. Let's say this is your liver. Right underneath your liver, you will have the gallbladder. Then there at the bottom, you'll have your pancreas. So let's look at how these ones help with their secretions. The liver, one of its first functions is that it basically creates and secretes bile. There's a certain substance. So it makes bile. Ne? It makes bile. That's the liver. It makes a substance called bile. Ne? And it secretes it. Bile. Nyong. Ne? Where is this bile stored? This bile will be stored in the gallbladder. We'll get to that. Yeah, Agrikulan. Ne? So, where is this bile created? Yasha. Stand. It is created in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. Ne? Are you with me? So, the gallbladder has a tube, ne, in which it releases this bile into, the bile is going to be released into what? Into the duodenum. What is the duodenum? The duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. So this bile will go into the duodenum. Ne? Now, before it gets there, so remember I said this tube is, there's a tube that in which this bile will be secreted through. Ne? That is from the gallbladder. Ne? And what do we call it? We call it the bile duct. Ne? As the bile, a duct means a tube. Ne? For example, oviduct, that's your fallopian tube. Not fallopian tube. Oviduct is, yeah, your fallopian tubes. Ne? And then your sperm duct. Ne? Good. Then your pancreas has also a tube in which it secretes your pancreatic juices in. That tube is called your pancreatic duct. Ne? We have two ducts, the pancreatic duct and the bile duct. Now, when these two at some point they meet, ne? And then they combine to form one tube. That tube will contain your whole entire, what we call gastric, your digestive juices. Ne? Now, this tube will be called, ne? It's like having two roads that converge into one. Ne? The bile duct and the pancreatic duct will form what we call the hepatopancreatic duct. The hepatopancreatic duct is a duct that is made up of two ducts, which is the pancreatic duct and the bile duct. They combine and form one tube that goes into the duodenum. Speak. Pancreatic juice. So it will have what we call pancreatic juice. So far, you with me? Yeah. You will be. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. One person at a time, please. Yes. Rico. Rico Yada. We're going to the functions. Now I want you to know the organs and what they secrete. Ne? The liver creates bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. It is released through the bile duct. Ne? The pancreas releases pancreatic juice, which is released through the pancreatic duct. And these two ducts, they form one main one that joins to the duodenum, which is called the hepatopancreatic duct. So far, that part you get. Who doesn't get? Or it's the words? It gets worse, unfortunately. Now, These are your this is typically your accessory organs. Ne? Your bile duct is this other green little organ which temporarily stores your not your bile, your gallbladder stores your bile. Ne? Good. And then your pancreas, it's an accessory organ that releases pancreatic juices into the duodenum. Now we want to see what is really their function. Ne? Each and every one of these. So we have the organ, its function, and its secretion, and the function of that secretion or that substance they secrete. Ne? One, pancreas. The function of the pancreas is one, it secretes pancreatic juices. The pancreatic juice contains enzymes such as your protease, ne, lipase, carbohydrates. So basically, these enzymes break down not carbon dioxide, carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Ne? This is the pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juices from the pancreas has enzymes that break down fats, that's your lipids. It breaks down proteins, it breaks down carbohydrates. Number two, it also secretes insulin and glucagon. Insulin and glucagon function in a homeostatic process, which has to do with controlling your blood sugar levels. What is homeostasis, Kan? I'm going to keep asking you this. Homeostasis. So basically, insulin and glucagon maintain blood glucose levels. So homeostasis. What is homeostasis? I say this is a homeostatic process. What is homeostasis? Homeostasis is maintaining internal body environment. Ne? So if your body has this temperature, it's going to maintain that temperature. That's homeostasis. If your body functions well at this pH, it's going to maintain that pH. That is maintaining an internal bodily environment. Ne? So to maintain your blood glucose levels, insulin is secreted by the pancreas. So the pancreas secretes two things. Oh, well, three. Pancreatic juices, insulin, and glucagon. Pancreatic juices, they help in digestion, ne, of organic compounds. Insulin and glucagon control your blood sugar levels. If somebody lacks this insulin, which disorder would they have? Diabetes. Ne? Good. So that means their pancreas is not functioning very well. Ne? Joseph, what's wrong? Where? Homeostasis. SIS. It's an S for saying. Right. Then let's come to the liver. So before you look at this whole this amount of writing, I want to summarize what the liver does into three categories because there's six to seven functions here. The liver, for me, it produces number one. Ne? We'll get to what it produces. The liver stores number two. And lastly, the liver breaks down things. Are you with me? So let's get to what it produces. We have already established. What does the liver produce? Bile. That is the first function of the liver. When I ask you the functions of the liver produces bile, which is going to be stored in the gallbladder. Okay, now let's go to what it stores. When you have excess glucose in your body, the liver can turn that glucose into two things. Ne? First thing it can convert the glucose to is glycogen, and then it stores it. So it converts glucose into glycogen, ne? And then it stores it. It can convert glucose into fats and then stores the fats. So the liver stores glycogen and fats. Ne? Glycogen is like your immediate fuel reserve, ne? Your reserve tank. What else does it does it store? The liver tends to store vitamins. Glycogen, yes. It stores vitamins. The liver also, yeah, it stores vitamins A, D, K, B12. It also stores iron. Ne? It also stores iron. That's why, have you ever heard in your diet when you're lacking iron, they say you can have a liver. It's rich in iron. Ne? It's because it's a storage place for iron. Fe. Are we together? All right. Then it breaks down things. The first thing it breaks down is toxins. Ne? It breaks down toxins such as alcohol. Ne? So in a process called detoxification. So it detoxifies your body. Ne? Noted. Then it breaks down excess amino acids. Ne? So the excess amino acids are broken down to form urea and glucose in a process called deamination. Yes, Hulan. When the liver breaks, I think the toxin, alcohol doesn't get harmed. Yes, if you excessively drink alcohol, remember the liver bears the toll of basically detoxifying this these toxins. Every toxin you put in your body, the liver functions in detoxify. So that's why, for example, you end up with conditions such as liver cirrhosis. Ne? If you want to have a look at what liver cirrhosis is, ne, it's not the exact thing, but take your chicken liver, fresh chicken liver, ne? Take vodka and put it into vodka, leave it there and come back and remove it. See what the liver looks like. That's what your liver will look like. Ne? Mm-hmm. Should be us, you should be like us as ZCC people who don't drink alcohol. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ZCC we don't drink. Uh-huh. Right. Let's pass. So I tried to summarize what the liver really does. I hope this makes it better. So it produces, it stores, and then it breaks down. It produces bile, stores fats, and glycogen that were converted from glucose. It then stores vitamins and iron. Ne? Then it breaks down things in the process of detoxification. It detoxifies toxins such as poison or alcohol. Alcohol is poison. Ne? Alcohol is poison for your body. That's why after a while, when you've been drinking a lot, your body shuts you down. Ne? Either it starts by you puking, meaning that you cannot take this much alcohol. It's poison to you. And then when you don't listen, you continue. Then you shut down. That's when they say you passed out. Yeah, your body shuts you down. Moving right along. And water is good for your skin. Then the gallbladder. The gallbladder we've already established so far. What is its function? To store bile. Now, what is the function? Oh, milk. You got very excited for a second there, Papa. They are talking about something you like here. Okay. 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 Right. Let's talk about bile. So the contents of bile is mostly your water. It will contain water and it will have salts, ne? Mineral salts, your alkaline salt. What is an alkaline substance? When you say something is alkalinic, it's a base that can dissolve in water. Ne? Yeah, that is soluble in water. A base that's soluble in water. Ne? Good. So the water in the bile will keep the fluid, basically the fluidity of food. Keep that food fluid so it moves easily in the intestines. Ne? So that's the first function of your bile. Then the base that is soluble in water, that means your alkalinic mineral salts. Yeah? They neutralize the chyme from the stomach. Yeah, Angel? They neutralize what, mommy? And I know he's ugly. Anyway, so remember in the stomach secreted what acid? Hydrochloric acid, which makes that whole chyme, the mixture of acid and food, what? Acidic. Ne? That chyme becomes acidic. Now, when it moves into the duodenum, it's still acidic. Ne? And we don't want to be pooping acidic feces. Ne? It's going to be like you had hot dab and curry. Ne? I don't know. Do you think I go around dissecting people and looking at acidic poop? Ne? So, what the alkalinic salts do, they neutralize that chyme from the stomach. Ne? They neutralize it. Then another function of your bile is fat emulsification. They emulsify fats. To emulsify fats is to break down fats into droplets, increasing the surface area for enzyme actions. So to break down fats. Good. Then bile salts also help in the absorption of those fats and vitamins. And then lastly, it is an antiseptic. Ne? Antiseptic, you hear people saying, let me apply some antiseptic cream there on you. Yeah? What is an antiseptic cream? It prevents the growth of microbes, ne? Especially harmful microbes. So imagine now you have these microbes in your body that are decomposing your food, meaning they're eating your food. Ne? So it prevents that. Ne? So it is an antiseptic. So if you can mention that is an antiseptic, I would gladly accept. That is the function of bile. So two secretions that we, well, that we did, or three, pancreatic juices. What else? Insulin and glucagon, and then bile. They come from different accessory organs and they have different functions. But they are all secreted into where? The first part of your intestines, which is the duodenum. Vraag, potso, umbuzo. Go. Oh, shut up. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey. So that process, I don't understand it. So they're basically pushing. It's usually most of the time is to relieve constipation. That was the main aim of beta, to relieve constipation, not to break stomach. So they're basically flushing water into your rectum and your descending colon, and then it comes back with, it makes your stool, your feces, watery. Then that's why when it comes back very watery. Yeah? So your rectum becomes full of water. So you're mixing your feces with water. That's basically what you're doing. That's relieving constipation. That's why you. Castor oil was not supposed to be taking at the amounts that you guys take it. You guys take a whole lot of castor oil and then it makes your stool watery. Right. Let's continue. So, if you're asking, well, how would this be asked in a test? So let's say, for example, I have label A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. If I asked you, label parts A to H. A is what? It's the liver. B, stomach. C, it's the hepatic duct, and then the bile duct is this one. Ne? And then D, gallbladder. E, dominum. E, duodenum. Ne? Aha. Hey, shut up your face. Then what is F? The pancreatic duct. G, the hepatopancreatic duct. The hepatopancreatic duct. H, oh, this one is the pancreas. Then the real questions follow. Name the substance that is secreted by organ A and H, respectively. I said A and H, respectively. A is bile. H, is that all? Does the pancreas only release pancreatic juices only? Insulin and glucagon. Provide the function of the substance stored in D. The substance stored in D. Hey, wait, Tabile has an answer. Tabile, papi. No, but I'm looking at you. Ask it. That is bile. It neutralizes chyme from the stomach. Ne? Okay. What else does it do? The water in the bile enables the food to become fluid. Ne? Then the food moves easily. What else can bile do? It is an antiseptic. Ne? Emulsifies fats. Ne? Good. Let's say I ask you a question. Which substance or substances secreted by organ H enable us to control our blood glucose levels? Insulin and glucagon. Ne? Isn't glucogen it man? Hey, papi man. Get it right. Ne? Then pancreatic juices contain enzymes that can hydrolyze what? Hydrolysis to break down. Fats, those are lipids, ne? Fats and what? Proteins and carbohydrates. Ne? We're not done. What are the pH conditions in organ B? The pH conditions in organ B. They are highly acidic because B is the stomach. It produces hydrochloric acid. All right, what's true? Ne? So you agree. So that B is highly acidic. How does the food found in B, how is the food neutralized found in B? How is that food neutralized when they enter E? Ah, I'm talking to Zul. So the food in B is acidic. How is it neutralized when it gets into E? Tabile Papa, I beat you so bad. Ne? So bad. Then when you get to hospital, ne, they'll tell you, Papa, spit so that you can see where the mouth is. Ne? That's how bad I'll beat you. Are, spray. Bile. Bile contains alkalinic salts that neutralize it. Hey! Tissue. Sensitize and delete yourselves.